right, welcome to the third game review of the evening. Up this time is Bullet Beat or Bullet Beat Musical Shoot 'em Up, depending on which version you're talking about. The full title is for the PC version is just shorted to Bullet Beat for the console versions. Anyway, Bullet Beat is a shoot 'em up where everything at the levels is in tune with the music, even the shooting. Keep the combo to get stronger. Um, Not a unique conceit by any means. Musical shooters that go by the rhythm have been around for a while. Um,
Looking at you,
Favorite of
Audio
mine is
Surf.
a game called Beat Hazard. Anyone else play that?
Doesn't ring a bell, but I don't play a ton of.
Um, it was a
I used to play Beat Hazard back in the day.
Yeah. This is decidedly a lot more minimalistic than that game. And abstract. Like, you're fighting a lot of shapes upon shapes kind of deal, which is another common art. It's a common art style we encounter across a variety of genres. Um, anyway, so we got the Nintendo Switch version of the game, and that means it's over to the Galax for the review.
So yeah, if you're looking for another, because I know there's more than one, abstract, vaguely geometric themed, top down, slightly bullet hell. See, this is the thing that looked like a fucking turkey leg that I was talking about earlier.
It's a helicopter, bro.
But it looks like a fucking turkey leg. Anyway, if you're looking for an abstract, geometric, top-down shooter with a bullet hell soundtrack, this is one of, or with a bullet hell and like techno music, this is one of them. On the Switch version, there is a very notable thing where it kind of makes the controller pulse in time with the music too, like with the rumble thing when you're hitting something. If you, you can turn that off, but I imagine it's part of the thing. The visuals for this game are a little distracting, fairly often actually, especially with the backgrounds being kind of busy. But the fact that everything is geometric and the color contrasts the colors usually contrast pretty well, like not jarringly, but like clearly, between stuff that's important and stuff that isn't. Each stage changes the color scheme, and there are 8 stages, but the last stage has like 3 parts, I believe. I didn't get past level 5 because I'm not great at this kind of game, and the bosses of level 5 are invisible.
Ooh.
You have to try to shoot at them by aiming where their bullets are coming from, and they don't fire constantly, so... And yeah, you have a focus / slow down mode. It doesn't slow down anything other than it's to make your movement a little more precise.
You okay?
Excuse me, I had a sneeze. It makes your movement a little more precise so you can weave between bullets. But enemies fairly frequently move faster than you can keep up with, so you have to like predict where they're going a little bit. The game, it does some funky things with enemies that are like attached to either you or other enemies, and that react in various interesting ways to being shot. But also, it does some interesting things with just the physical hit animations on enemies. Like some of them spin around. You could see the ones on the first level amused me because it looks a little bit like in Missile Command, how the or maybe in Space, and maybe in Space, like how I think it is actually in Space Invaders too, how your bunkers get eaten away at. It looks like that. It doesn't directly correspond to anything. As you kill things, they do drop power-ups, and there's like power-ups are anything from like a wave of bullets up the screen to several different varieties of increasing the number and dispersion of your shots. One of them forks your main fire into two things, which I guess theoretically increases stuff and lets you aim a little bit to the side, but also makes it harder to shoot things that are directly in front of you. So that requires some accommodating for. And this is the one that I was talking about that looks like a freaking paddle from the top.
Yeah.
So yeah, as an abstract game, there's not really anything to speak of in the way of story or anything. There's not really text aside from the score.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun and enjoyable if you like this kind of game, but I mean, I doubt it'll really scratch your bullet hell itch if you really like bullet hell games particularly, because to my sensibility at least, the bullet patterns are like bullet hell junior at minimum, at worst. You do have a significant life bar in this game, which is fairly unusual for this kind of thing. That solid color of your ship line across the bottom of the screen is your life bar. So you can actually take a lot of hits before you actually die, which is good because there's at least one enemy that will shoot at you and turn faster than you can get out of the way. So it's basically impossible to beat without taking any damage at all, so far as I was able to discern. Also, this game does have multiple difficulty selections. I didn't see anything that penalizes you for playing on easier, so I was playing on casual because
We're dirty
again,
casuals here.
I wanted to try to get through a significant amount of the game and not die repeatedly on level 1 or 2. So yeah, on casual mode, it's not particularly unbeatable or anything. It's probably actually pretty easy for someone who's good at this kind of game more than I am. But again, they still play some weird tricks with like what you're trying to hit. Like the boss of I think level 4 basically makes a large chunk of the screen into like covers a lot of the screen with squares, small squares, and it's one of them in its first phase, and you can only figure out which one you're actually doing damage to by the feedback from it getting hit, which it primarily comes out in the controller vibration, at least so far as I noticed. So it has some interesting ideas and interface and stuff. I guess if you're the kind of person who can like zone out playing this kind of game or whatever, it probably would appeal to you a lot that way. But I'm not that kind of person. I think too much to be good at this kind of game, probably. So, do you guys have any big questions?
Does the Switch version give you an option to play your own music, or is it just the music in the game?
It just has the built-in music.
So I guess
it does have a motion controls option, which I did not use because
that sounds painful.
It's mostly tilting left and right and up and down, I think, to move your dude around. But yeah,
I will have none of that, please.
To me, so I didn't do that. But if you have some kind of motor thing where you can't use buttons, that might be useful, I guess. I think it also has one Joy-Con mode, but I'm not sure. I mean, obviously there aren't that actually many buttons in here. It's pretty much move around, shoot, and then like the shoulder buttons by default are what slows you down.
Right. In terms of pricing, so the PC version is $2.99, though it's on sale for $1, $1, like $1 a penny currently, and the Switch version is $5.
I don't even think $5 is unreasonable if you enjoy. I mean, it's a score attack game, so you could be playing again you could play it over and over again and try to do better or on more higher difficulties or whatever if you're the kind of person who likes playing this kind of game over and over again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
Betty,
I'm sorry that I realized that my review for a lot of this kind of game comes out as like, if you like this kind of game, you'll like it. But it seems pretty decent, really.
um, right.
It just
Before we
doesn't. It's just not super deep or anything. I don't think.
Also, on the Steam version, it is part of the Turnox Mega Complete Bundle, oh, which is a package of like all of their shooters and stuff. It usually goes for $25.93, 70% off, $7.87. We cannot speak to the other games in this package because we are not reviewing them, but that seems to be a really good price for the like 7 games here.
Mm-hmm.
And before we close it out, Petty, you've been playing the PC version, I
Mm-hmm.
believe.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
It doesn't look like it has controller support on the PC version, at least not natively. You can probably force it messing with the Steam control settings. If you have like a PS4.
Was that a mouse? There was a thing that said movement arrows or whatever. Did
Yeah.
that change to mouse or did it change to WASD or what?
You can either do the arrow keys or mouse, it looks like.
Mouse actually might be interesting for this kind of thing.
Yeah. So I guess it does still give you an option for analog control. And there is also a mode that you can upload your own music to if you have actual music saved to your computer. Because I know a lot of people now just stream with Spotify or what have you.
I'm curious how the enemies that depend significantly on your feedback. Maybe there was something else I wasn't super noticing.
There's a little effect when you hit an
fighting
enemy that
Jungle
looks like
boss.
the bullets like breaking up on them or something.
Uh-huh.
I think that's probably another thing of feedback.
Well, no, but just like one of the bosses, it was seriously freaking. Most of the screen is covered by purple squares that are like a few pixels apart. One of those purple squares is what you need to hit. They all look identical.
I don't remember seeing that, so I can't tell you.
Didn't get that far. It was like the boss of level 4.
Mm. But yeah, all in all, I'd say, if you're looking to get this game, I would suggest probably getting the PC version if you have actual downloaded music.
It seems like either version has.
I'm curious as to how that would interact with it.
It's probably randomly generated, like Beat Hazard.
Yeah, Audio Surf did that as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a shooter, but it's the same principle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
But yeah, I guess that's it from me.
I think it has to be procedurally generated to work with imported music, and
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, the music is nice, though it's not always super easy to focus on while you're trying not to die.
I think that would be to be expected. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and yeah, I suppose that's about it for this one.
Uh-huh.
So after the break, we will close things out with Sam and Max Save the World Remastered.